I'd like to thank Juliet Peters of Framework Legal for joining us on this Delta Business Bite about legal landmines, also known as contract gotchas.
Dispute resolution, which follows governing law, and
Yep.
it is another very critical point.
Yeah, and I think the issue here is that I thought by this time in the world we would have moved past this debate about whether or not there should be alternative dispute resolution in a contract. But I face this almost every day, and particularly it's an issue in sales, which I'm not sure why, but I always want to make sure that there is a mechanism in the contract so that the parties can, number one, have to discuss stuff with each other and try to resolve it at the business level. If they're not successful at that, I want to push mediation. I want to get them in front of a neutral who is going to look at this and have a chance to resolve it. And then I have a personal, proclivity, which I'm not really a fan of arbitration generally because it's pretty pricey for most small businesses. And if you've gone all the way through mediation and you cannot reach an agreement at this point, you are probably better served. There might be an issue, and you might be better served being in court, to be honest, which is where I would want you to be very, very at the very last resort. But I still think you have a better shot in court because for issues like, lawyer stuff like summary judgments, for example, and what that means is basically I should win on the law in this case, right? You're taking a crazy position and the law doesn't support it. That's really hard to argue in an arbitration. Arbitrators don't usually like to have dispositive motions like that can get rid of the case, which is why I prefer, frankly, a scheme of settle it at the business level first, then go to mediation, and then take your chances in court. But that's a personal preference. I do believe, though, as business owners, you should absolutely be pushing for some kind of alternative dispute resolution. I am often very freaked out when I'm negotiating something and a lawyer on the other side doesn't want to have an ADR provision because I don't see why that, then it makes me question, well, what's really behind that, right? As a lawyer, I go, why wouldn't you want your clients to come to the table and try to reach a resolution?